Welcome, guys. We're going to be back with some Distant Worlds 2, so we're going to be sort of continuing on where we were last time. Let's just open the game up and see where we are. We're playing as the Daots, which are an insectoid faction, and we've just finished off destroying one of the other factions who was sort of being a bit of a pain in the bum on our on our western flank, I guess, would be the way of sort of thinking about it. So we've actually just taken over the homeworld in the Uberli system of this particular group, and they have now sued for peace, and they are now subjugated to us. But they're also now suffering a whole lot of different rebellions. You can sort of see that there's rebellions everywhere now on all of their different worlds, as the essentially we've taken everything from them. They're really, these little outlying locations really have nothing. So I'm assuming that these will fragment off into a few different little empires, but they will be of no threat and no interest to us pretty much whatsoever. I can't see that really being a big issue. Maybe if the fragmented areas, actually no, they still shouldn't inherit any of the research stations that are in this region, because I do want to get research stations. I want to get as many of them as I possibly can. So we're in through here with our main force. There's other forces back through here, the leftovers of the enemy, sort of in around this particular part of the world. Part of the map. I'm just going to move my head into the right position, just so we can sort of see all of the user interface. So what I'm just going to zoom into a ship, and it doesn't really matter which one I look at. Got this little this thing's picking up a hive hulk. Don't know what that is. Anyway, if we just go and have a look at that, I just need to make sure that I'm sort of away from these bits. Just bear with me, and I'll just throw that across. Yeah, that's up here, I think. It's about there. It's about right. Okay, so that just keeps me away from all of the important stuff, I think, if I then just exit out of that. And yeah, I can go down just a shade more. That'll do. All right, so I'll just lock that one down. Right, so that's I think is the best spot when you're playing Distant Worlds 2 for your head. Hi, Vila Beck, how are you going? So so we're going to be just continuing on with this particular attack that we've been doing through here. What I might do is have a quick look to see if there is any research stations that I would like to be getting. We're getting sort of like, there's a few different locations here which are considered to be special locations, which is what's pinging in this area. We've still got a war weariness because the war has only just finished, so we've got a war weariness of -1, which is nothing. We're trying to get the advanced pulse drives, so we've got a little way to go with that one through there. We do have good money. Might just go back in if we haven't got that one already. No, we haven't actually. I'm just going to go and pay the costs here, I think. Actually, do I want to do that? Yeah, I will actually. I will, just to get the just to get these drives as fast as I possibly can. So we'll exit the research in through here. Hi Incognito and Cygnus and Private Joe saying, how is my favourite Planet Annihilator feeling today? Any more mass destruction planned for today? Well, now we have to switch where we actually are across to to the other side of the galaxy, because all of our planets are all of our groups are in through here. So I have to do a bit of a summary. I've forgotten exactly what I've been doing with the various fleets, but most of the fleets, all the big fleets, are in here, for the destruction of this particular system, the Uberli system. And so on the Uberli system, we've actually been able to come back in, and we've essentially got troops that are on the ground here. We're building up. These are actually going to be good troops as well, the ones we sort of build on these worlds. So some of these have actually taken a bit of damage. We've got another version there. I can sort of leave a bit of a force behind. So that's this is the old capital of where they were. So we sort of bombed this one into submission, and we still actually have a lot of our octomech brigades and so on and so forth on this particular world. So there's So it's certainly still just geared up. Literally, the war is only just finished. That's where we left it at the end of the last session. Really, where we're just going to sort of start to pick our way through. There's a lot of things we did actually pick up. There's going to be, you can see that we've got a whole lot of different people imprisoned. So imprisoned again all the way through here. Lots and lots of most of their spy network has been imprisoned. So this is their home world. So we are sort of now moving. We're moving everyone off from this particular world. If we have a look and see characters and prisoners, we've got a heap of them, an absolute heap of them. So we're picking up different generals and admirals through the combat as we were sort of prosecuting the war. There's things, for example, like though you've got this is their ambassador. Inspiring presence. Yeah, I just sort of don't know if how I want to sort of handle all of these. There's a spy there, imprisoned by the Lamtrini surveillance. Yeah, this is us. So that's actually a Dayot spy. Dosti Jurabek. So, not bad actually. Recruiting's going to cost me a lot, so I won't go for that one. There's the Guardian of Life. So I could give them this one back, which they would like. Yeah, so you got the different events. So it's 2798, 1109, and so literally, even though this one's in charge, he is essentially, he's our prisoner, but he's still actually he's the guardian of life for these guys, for the Ikaru, and so in this case, so they signed. The treaty was signed with us here. There's a whole lot of different treaties that was then sort of signed all on the one day. War ends there as well. So these are all the recent events. And then there was, actually, where is this place? Not sure which one this actually is. Hang on, just let me have a quick look. This is Ubalai 5, yeah, okay. So if we have another quick look at him again, and just look at these events again. So all the stuff that sort of has happened in recent days. The war ends. There's colony rebellions through here. This is not anything that I've actually been affecting. So the rebellion started some time ago. This is because of their war weariness. I thought it was because they had come across. Yeah, they've been dealing with rebellions for months. For months and months. So yeah, it goes all the way back. So that's where they sort of were losing their various colony loss at Ubalai 5. So these we've actually taken these a little while ago before they then sued for peace, and in this case they've still got these different rebellions going on around the place. Signed those treaties, yeah. So that's actually all okay. All right, so that's so they're actually now still imprisoned. I think it will just keep him where he is. Maybe I could talk with them. We have a quick look and see. They are. So the Denbolt is these are vassals as well. We've sort of conquered these guys. These are a different group. These are the Artuks. Then as we sort of come back through, the other one that we now have is of course the Ubalai Adenic Bliss. So we recently ended a war with this faction. We can't declare war on them as such. See, their war weariness is rampant. This is why everything's rebelling. They just can't. They couldn't. In the end, everything was collapsing around them. If I speak with them, negotiate a deal. So there's a heap of things that they actually have that we would like, but they also don't like us as well. Lots of mining stations. These are now inside our territory, the territory we just took over from them. So eventually we might, I'll just see what it's worth for them to get back their supreme leader. That's all the spies. Guardian of Life, 154,000. I could almost just swap their whole leadership, because I've now got all of their leadership for most of these mining stations. I don't know what's actually in here. So yeah, if I go across, it's not going to show me what it actually is unless I close that one down. I don't think. Yeah, it's mining stations in through there, just mining steel and stuff like that. Anyway, I'll leave that one where that is. Hi Quark, how you going? And so Villavex saying any user interface that doesn't have a dedicated spot for DasTactic there's no user interface at all. Yeah, no, it's sort of funny. It's funny how so many, like if I go anywhere else in the screen, it just ends up being in the worst possible spot. So hi Thomas, how you going? And Gerber Wolf is saying good morning or evening. It's morning for me. So Michael is saying, in a previous Distant Worlds 2 video of yours, I asked about the Ikaru winning a game. You were right. I didn't realise that a heavy frigate for the Ikaru can hold 3 concussion missiles or 3 big torpedoes. Yeah, they can be very, very powerful. Very powerful. So they are slow, but wow, tons of firepower, yes. Yeah, no, you're dead right. They're actually every faction is actually got its positives and negatives. Maybe there's like the Artooks I don't really like playing, and the Tikans I don't really like playing, just because they on the surface are fairly weak. They have other benefits. Like there's all sorts of different, like each faction is extremely well balanced in the sense of what it can do. I'll just get rid of that just so we can sort of see it. So everything they've got is now in rebellion, which is going to be interesting to see what actually does happen there. I'm just wondering whether I shouldn't deal for all of the for all this stuff. I might actually do that. I mean, they hate us, but they're going to hate us no matter what we do. So let's just go back across again, and I will actually speak with them, and so we can just negotiate a deal. I've got different treaties and stuff. Again, I can't really do anything. We've got a non-aggression treaty with them now, so everything else is sort of like they've given up everything. So they're basically going to do whatever we want, except for this stuff, of course. Well, let's just go through without really knowing what these bases hold. If I go and click on these, I wonder what the eyeball does. It does sort of highlight it. If I zoom in, let's oh, hang on. Just try that again. I'm not sure where it's sort of supposed to be showing up. I don't know why this one is worth so much more money, for example. Yeah, I'm not sure. Really unsure here. I mean, it comes down to, I guess, to actually what the, well, actually, even that's not really inside our territory. So, like this is now our new territories back in 3. Sorry, I'll just get this back to facing Galactic North yet again, just so we've got the same context. Again, if they've got interesting, like we now know everything that was in here. So what have we got in here? This will be hive ships that we don't know anything at all about. So this is a volcanic planet that we do know about the actual planet itself. It does actually have a facility here. The tomb of this one through here as well. Not really going to help us much. Yeah, that's not anything we have to worry about. Let's have a quick look across the other side here. What these are. What do they bring? This moon here, Rayamonde, it's got the Exalted Citadel of Chandra. Okay, so nothing much there. Just looking quickly to see if any of these are worth really pushing hard. Sometimes there's ruins that are absolutely unbelievable. This one here is Hattier's Training Manual Vault. So this is interesting. This one gives, this location gives +1 to all research and +6% to ancient knowledge. Now, why can't I build? Yeah, research station. There's already somebody else there. So I can't do anything with that one. So I can build inside vassal territory. What we might also have a quick look at is just to see if there's any real valuable resources inside their territory that we would be wanting to snaffle up. Because otherwise I don't really need a lot of the stuff that's in here at this point in time. This is the flow of all of the resources. Let's just go to luxuries and just see if there's anything in here. Now we've got Unctium Pearl. If I click on these, it's not going to do anything. There's only 2 sources of those. Where are they in the galaxy? So we can see a lot now. Like we've got pretty much the whole galaxy has now been exposed. Wow, they're big. We have to be careful of them too. Just coming back down then in that case, do we know? We've got Loris fruit. Now we control one of the 3 sources of Loris fruit from there. There's another one over here as well, which is controlled by the Mortallans. This is who we're going to go after next. So the Mortallans are up in the north here, and so we'll be actually we'll actually be pushing up this way as soon as we bring everything across. So there's a Loris fruit source there, and where else is the next one? It's a bit hard to sort of see it in here. There it is, too far away. We've got Zentavia fluid. There's 2 sources there. We've got one of the sources of Zentavia fluid, and again, there's one there that that we don't control. Actually, we do control that one, do we? No, we don't. So we've got one there, and there should be another one somewhere as well. There. So we do control that one there. And spice, Caribbean spice. We don't. There's no known sort. We don't. No one knows of any actual Caribbean spice anywhere. So so that's actually an unknown resource at this stage. Maybe there's someone in the galaxy. There may not be any. Just grab myself a drink of water. Be right back. So in this instance, it's sort of one of these things. Do I really want to bother with getting all of these things? I guess I do. Like I'll just quickly go and just sort of thump along with the with from the top. Actually, I'll just go with the most expensive ones, and so I'll just talk with them, speak with them, negotiate a deal. They've got all these bases that essentially are inside our territory. They're all just mining bases. Just see what we can do. So we'll give them back. We'll keep the scientist. These admirals are worth a fair bit. They're of no real value to us. The generals I'll give back. Guardian of Life I'll give back. The spies I'll keep because I don't really want them working against me. Give them their ambassador back as well, and we'll just keep. So we'll keep all the spies and the scientist. So we'll just keep those in our prisons. This is all of our tech. They don't really have any tech on offer as such because they've sort of given it all over to us. So we've got 500,000 here. So we can get a fair few now. Uberli 3. Just get some of the bigger ones. I don't know what these have got, but let's just go and grab them anyway. 13, yeah, 34. Just get a few more of these. A lot of these ones with just the numbers will be inside asteroid belts. So we'll just get the things that are named first. Okay, they're now going to start to reject this deal. I wonder why that's so expensive. I don't know why that's worth so much, but I'll try to keep it in the mix. I may accept this deal. I will likely accept this one. Yeah, you can see the disparity there, but look, I'll give that one a go. So we'll just go and see. What do you think of this deal? There we go. Accept your proposal. So we've now got. Oh, that's actually different again. Just go and grab that one. Dismiss that one through there. So we've given them back most of their personnel, and we've picked up a few different mining stations, which we won't worry about. The game will just look after that one for us. So that's what we need to do there. And so hopefully their leader can then start to stabilise what they've got. And again, they're not really going to be a threat at all. They're not going to be able to build back. Okay, so hi Tylenethal, how you going? So, Private Joe saying good, I don't like Mortallans, or we don't like Mortallans, yes. Now we're going to hi Impaluco as well. So, just see if there's any other questions there. So Matt Bannon saying, what does the rankings look like? Yeah, so we're miles ahead. Well, we're not miles ahead, but we're this is us. So you can see down through here. This is interesting, actually. I'm not usually good at the economy. You can see there that these are Quamino, even though they're coming third overall, are actually winning the economic race. So they're going to be a problem. And they're just to the south of us, so they're to our direct south. They've got an economy that's almost double ours, population is more than ours, and then the territory is about double ours as well. But they haven't done their racial aspects are late game things, like for example have the most completed research branches in the galaxy. That's really, really late in the game. Build the Transcendence hub at a colony, late game. Reach 30% empire bonus level in ancient knowledge, late game. These are all late game progresses that they have. And so they're actually, essentially they're winning the actual game itself, but and they're also going to have big bonuses with technology. So I don't know where they stand versus us with technology, but they're a bit of a problem. Then we have the Mortallans and us. You can see there the combination of economy, population, and territory. Territory were about the same. We've got a better economy, but a smaller population, which is sort of the way the Dayots sort of work. So we're up through here, but we've actually completely dominated up through here. We need to enslave more races, which we'll be able to do. So we'll be doing that fairly soon. Actually, we're just going to let the everything sort of settle down on those worlds and then enslave those home worlds. So we're enslaving a few different factions, but not a hell of a lot. Hi Beacon, how you going? And I don't know if I said hi to Istar there before. So in this case, the Mortallans are now going to be our next target. So we'll look to pretty much do the same thing that we did against the Ikaru, who are not coming last. Well, the sort of economy-wise, they really are. So they're actually now way down in here. We've subjugated these. We've also subjugated the Denbolt in through this other side. Now, I don't know who these ones are and what they've been doing, but they're also struggling a lot. Down the bottom through here, we also have then the Tekan Star Megacorp. This one, I think, actually had splintered off from another Tekan group. Are we seeing any other Tekan groups? Or maybe not. Maybe that it was just them. These are not really a problem for us. The humans, I don't even know where they are, to be honest. But they're sort of not really an issue. The Boscarans, I thought there was two Boscarans. There's only the one. These are friendly with us, but we certainly have. They're they've been fighting the Mortallans mainly, and so so the Mortallans have been dominating them. We've got the Wekaris, which are sort of further off to our east. So they will fight, I think, the Corminos. So they're sort of outside of our areas. The Actarians are also near where the Cormino are. I don't know if they're friendly with each other, but the Actarians would be another good one for us to subjugate. Draconeer, so this is the Xenox. They're further away. We've then got the Gizarian Dominion Hive. These have also been at war with the Mortallans, so they're sort of an ally. These are the Insectoids as well. So we're Insectoids, they're Insectoids, and the Boscara, and so they're the three Insectoid factions. And then we come up to these now. The Cormino, even though we're right where we are, they haven't really been aggressive, whereas the Mortallans have been aggressive. So I think we smashed the Mortallans first before we go after the Cormino. Corminos usually have very, very strong ships, but we've really, really sort of honed our ships incredibly, actually, for what we need to be doing here. I'm just going to go now and pick up the fleets. So let's just go through each of the fleets. I think I've got 11 fleets. If we have a quick look at the actual fleets themselves. Yeah, so I've got the 11th Defence Force, which is currently being built. So if we go and click on these, you can see they've only just been established. And so their home base is Ubalai 5, back in through here. So I'll end up with a large, this is going to be a large defence fleet. I think that's, yeah, so large defence fleet is a template that we're using. And so they'll just be positioned back in this particular territory, and they'll look after this whole region of space. So I can sort of now leave this area. If we go back through the other fleets, all the other fleets have got numbered. They've sort of been, designated a auto number. So if we go to the first fleet, this is my main attack fleet. Now retrofit to the latest designs. So we can actually do these. These have actually recently had an upgrade, but which ones need to upgrade? It's sort of interesting me. I'll have a quick look and see what my ship designs are that we've got. Just click by roll, just so I can see them all together. So we've got 41 heavy escorts, and so these were created in 2783. That's sort of like the last time they were updated. That was when the ship design was created. That's a long time ago in the past. So that one isn't looking to be upgraded, but this was, this is good 11 years ago, actually even longer now, about 15 years ago. So this is ancient in terms of what's happening in the game. So we're over to look at the manual sort of change of things. The destroyers, we've got 12 destroyers. Again, they're 6 years old in terms of their design. I don't think we've actually picked up anything that really needs to be looked at through that one through there. Only just designed the defensive bases, so we're starting to get a few of these now built around the place. Looking at some of the others, sort of, it's interesting that like the fact that it wants to now go and do upgrades. We've got the frigates now. We're using a few of these different designs. We're not using any of the actual base frigates anymore, so they're ancient again, a bit like our like our heavy escorts. Might have a look at that and see what we've got going on there. I don't think I need to change those. The Destructo, these are my bombardment ships. I'm actually happy enough with those. I've got 5 of those in just one fleet. And then I've got the 2789 into here. This is, again, fairly recent for the fleet frigates. This is our main ship that we're sort of using, along with the just to sort of support the destroyers. Everything else is pretty clean. So I don't think that there would be any upgrades required. I wouldn't have thought. So we've got, there's a few ships sort of out a little bit further as well. It's waiting for fuel tankers. Not that it really needs to matter for that one as well. So these ones here, this is the little fuel tanker. So the BC 1300 fuel barge. Let's just go and see if that is one of them. Maybe that's going to be, yeah, this has been updated. So this is the one. So it's only just come through, actually. So a new update there from a couple of years ago. So they're now looking to get the fuel barges updated. So I could just go and do that and then sort of come back again. I might as well do it while we're not in any great rush. So just go to the first, just do a retrofit there. So then I'm just going to retrofit at Uberli 5, which is where they're sort of close to. The second fleet is also here at this stage, and so they're going to be the same sort of deal through here as well. I'll just do the automatic retrofit. So they're going to the Sarasai spaceport, which is, it's a moon somewhere. I think it's over here somewhere, I think. Anyway, they'll move off and do that one. The third fleet, again, you can sort of see is sort of in through this other side. This one has been updated. So these are, yep, the 1600s. So the third fleet is actually like a very, very powerful fleet with Admiral Sev in charge and a few of the named ships. So we've got a few DasTactic ships in here, I think. Or maybe not. I think they might be with the first. The first has got, that Admiral has not been named. Yeah, Orangutan's Library, Began, Sick. So the big ships there have been named. There's the medium tankers. These are just, oh, this is my troop transports. That's okay. Again, that's retrofit. That's already going off to do that one. So the third, yeah, we don't have any of the destroyers named there. Fourth, again, that one doesn't need to be updated. The fifth, back over this way. So these are now protecting the southern flank. These aren't very powerful. You might even just have a look at these as we go through. This one's automatically defending the central area near the den bolt system, which is fine. So I don't need to do much with those. The fourth, the fifth as well, is really just going to be looking after this border area. The sixth is looking after this very important planet back in around here. I think I'll just keep that one where that is as well, although it's a large one. We do have an admiral in charge of this one here. And again, we haven't named any of those. The seventh is another, just a small, this is a raiding force, which is just going off sort of destroying things based out from here in the Zeta 4 mining station. And so it's literally just going off and raiding targets. So not really, it's going back for repairs now automatically. The eighth is also just established back out through here, missing a ship. So we just need to go and grab a new ship here. So this one is also just going off to raid. So we'll just throw another ship back into that one. The ninth is also just, again, on the border. Defending targets, nothing, it doesn't need to do anything at all. The 10th is this is my bombardment fleet, I think. Yeah, these are the destruction ships. So these I'm not really all that happy with, to be honest. Yeah, they're also just in here. Alright, well let's now start to move them back. So the first is retrofitting, second is retrofitting, third is at the moment just guarding Uberli 4. And the home base has been given as Uberli 6, which we no longer need to do. So we need to now come back over to the front lines. So the front lines that we actually have is we do actually have a presence out in here. So we actually have, so we built a monitoring station just there. I'm going to give that as the home, make that the home base. So with the third fleet, I'm just going to make that one as the home base for the third fleet. First fleet as well, I'm going to make that the home base for them as well. So just going to grab them. So their home base at the moment is Uberli 5, which I don't need to be doing. So when I do that, and then just go back and give it a defensive role, same with the third, if I just go back and give it a defensive role, they'll end up making their way to this station, and then just sitting on that station there. So we've got that one there. Yep, so we're just going to keep that sort of thumping along. The fourth is the defense force. Again, we've already got that one. Now, so the first is defending same location. I'm just going to change that to 50m range. So they'll end up sort of just defending that region. The third again as well. Actually, the second invasion fleet has been given Uberli 4 as its location. I might come back and just tweak that one. And again, I'm just going to go, and this one's also just same system. We'll make that also 50m range from when they do go into this position. They're going to be my two main attack fleets. The fourth is already set for defense. The fifth for defense, raiding, which I'm happy with. Raiding, happy with that one as well. Ninth, defense, sort of more in depth. Back sort of on the borders, which is fine. And then the 10th. Now this is, its home base has been set up as the Klakamu's 2 spaceport, which is, again, right where I want it. So I'm just going to leave that one sort of back in through there, and I'm just going to give that a defend order there as well. And it has been set for same location, which is fine. These are not really attack ships, these particular bombers. So they will move back. So all of these ships have now got automation, except we did want to go back to the second because we don't actually have any troops on board. And we want to pick them up again. So if we have a quick look and see back where the fleet actually is. So at Uberlife 5, if we go back and have a look at the colony details screen, we can see here we've got that one set for garrison. That's a garrison. I need to get more. They've got war swarms and sentinel forces in through here. What else are we doing here? We've actually got armor barracks under construction. The enslavement control facilities. Yeah, we're going to wait till we get these before we enslave the population. That's right. And in this instance, so recruit war swarm. So these are actually better. The sentinels. So the sentinels are the actual Ikaru forces themselves. I'm just going to get a bunch of those. And we'll just garrison these as well. So just tell them that they're going to be the garrisons of this particular world. They're pretty happy. This world is... so I don't need to keep a lot of these. What I want to do is I've got one... I'm just going to go and ungarrison that troop. Just get sort of like one of the lower... These are all just Octomech brigades. So armour is just our own armour. So we'll garrison those, which will then give me a fairly good garrison. I just want to have one of these Octomech brigades established there. And so we'll now just go and pick up the rest of them. So with the second fleet, I'm just going to go and load troops at Uberlife 5, unpause the game. There we go, we've picked up 130, so 13 armour. That's fine. So everything is now sort of just established there. So now we can go back and sort of do what we need to be doing. So I'll go back to Lamtrini 4 with this ship, actually. So we do actually have... now, where's that? There's a monitoring station, which is under attack by pirates. Sort of in our south. So looks like there's pirates down this way somewhere. Alright, well, they're going to keep on raiding that one. It's sort of too far outside my territory to worry about. Now the second. Now it was, we've got the load troops, that's now been done, so we'll just now grab the second and move them back to the Lamtrini system, which is our home base. And we'll just get them to go to Lamtrini 4 and pick up a whole lot of more troops, load troops at Lamtrini 4. So at Lamtrini 4 we've got like a whole lot of troops that we've been building, so we'll just sort of keep these sort of thumping along. When we clone troops here, we end up, so if I start, actually I've got the ambush group as well. I do want to now start to pick up a few of those. Yeah, I don't have any of those just yet, so we'll get a few of those as well. Octomechs, these are our best troops. So that's the Executioner Hive. This is sort of like, we can clone our best. This is Mercenary Brigade. Yes, we can sort of get our best ones in through here. The 40. These are Executioner Hives. You can see there the attack strength 155, and this is to clone an Executioner Hive. and we can recruit a mercenary brigade. So I think that actually that I think is our base troop. So who has the executioner hives? We've got a world that actually is allowing us to build those. If we just go back in, I'm just not sure how we're getting those troops. Let's just go back to alien races. Executioner hives could be Mortalan. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? They're Conqueror forces. Just go back to the Ikaru, because these are very strong troops. Sentinel Force is the one that they've got. Again, good attack, good defense. Daota's us. Yeah, this is the mercenary brigade. This is what we actually have. So which one of the ones would it be? Maybe Boscarans? Yeah, it is. That's interesting. So we've got an executioner hive that we've actually got fighting for us that we can clone, which is sort of like, so we can actually get like very, very powerful troops from that one. So when I come back in, you can see that it's cloned the 41st executioner hive infantry at Latrini. So I'm going to smash a few more of these out. I'm going to need these for garrisons. So I'll just go and start to build heaps of them out there. So we get ready for the actual war that's going to be coming. So Madman is saying you need more of those non-consensual employment. Like our Daots are evil. Did you have good diplomacy with the good races? Yeah, sort of. They're an interesting faction. Bash is saying, I hope the Actarians get the overhaul soon, as it's been rather quiet. Yes, I think they're working solidly on the Shadow Rising DLC, and I'm not sure when the Actarians are supposed to be coming. The Actarians are actually my favourite faction. I love playing as them. We'll just keep on going through. So Sheikh Vivid saying hi. It's a hi back. All right. Anyway, let's now just everything has sort of been set up. We now just need to move back into our territory. You can see we've now gobbled up our cash to build these troops. So we're seeing little strike forces, from miles away back over here. They'll end up just going back. And so we may see this empire fragment. We can actually have a look to see what's happening with the rebellions. Yeah, they'll survive this. It's going to pick up lots of stuff. I'll just go back to Lamtrini again and just to see if there's any other stuff we want to be getting in here. Oh, here we go. So we released him. So he's actually then moved across, was killed in a ground battle at Idonisa. So this is actually where he has now moved across to here, I'm guessing. Where's the population? There it is. So you've got these. Yeah, this is a moon called Idonisa, and Idonisa is now is a forest moon where there's Artuks and others, and so he was actually defending this one. This has now become independent, and so so these essentially are just it's going to be an independent backwater. There's lots of ships in through here as well, so they're no longer part of that empire, and so the leader that we released has actually now been killed in a ground battle on that particular moon. So anyway, we released him to his death. Well, at least we got money out of him. Discovered hidden items at Wallachia in the Wallachia system. Again, don't really need to worry about that one. It's only really research that I'm looking for. I might actually look at the research. Hope you guys don't mind me sort of doing a bit more of a deep dive into what I need. So what we have in our research, so that's the economy, which I don't need to look at. Yes, I've got the research. Here. So we're trying to get the advanced pulse drives, which will give us a big hyperjump speed boost. So we're going to be able to move through the galaxy very, very quickly. This is a racial thing that the Dayots have. It's probably our main advantage, is just the ability to be able to jump ahead of everyone else. But we've been able to research a lot of weaponry, and we're trying to get the high level weapons at the top here. So we've got synchronized energy output up through this other side, which gives us the impact assault blasters. The medium impact assault blasters do incredible damage, but we can't quite get the next level. So the devastating energy releases back in through here. This will give us the large, which will then do even more damage. And so this is sort of where I want to be, is back up into this particular one. But you see their research threshold 40%, and so 40% weapons research bonus from all sources. We've got 27%, so we're still 13% off. So we've picked up, we've got 13% from weapons research and plus 14 from all research. So, but we need to get to 40% to be able to take that one. So playing as a faction like the Dayots, who are not intelligent, means that we have to find other ways to get these high-level techs. If we come back down to the bottom here, there's different ways. If we can either get all research or we can get weapons research, are the two ways for us to go and do it. So as we sort of come back through, down to the bottom here with the structured research, we'll sort of see that we've got construction specialization through there. I can get any of these. Energy, weapon, there's weapon specialization. If I get this one, now this one we've only just reached actually, which is interesting. So we've got research threshold 20% bonus from all, so we have 20% in through there as well. So we've just been able to, and we didn't have this one before, so we've just squeaked our way into being able to do this one. This will give me 10, so that'll get me, of the 13 that's required, I'll end up with another 10, which is great. So I'm going to go and throw that one into the mix. I'm going to move that one up to the top. So that's not quite where we want to be. We need to get more all. So the enhanced research requires 40%, we have 20%. So we're still too far off in through here. And so this is high-tech research. So if we can find enough high-tech research bonuses, we're going to be able to pick those up. And this will then give us the Research Lab version 2. So if we were playing as a Quamino, we'd have no problem at all getting these, because of they have advantages with tech when we don't. Now we're 20 away here. I can get this one, which will give me another 10. I would like to get that. That would then just leave 10 behind. Let's just see. Weapons is where I really want to be. So what we need to do is we need to find an all. So the enhanced research is going to give the research labs, it doesn't give any other bonuses, but it may open up other locations behind that one. Nothing much else. Actually, system governance as well is another one that that I also now wanted to get as well. This is actually an important one. So I'm going to throw that. We've only just got all of these. So these we've just got the we've got 20% from high tech research. Yeah, so we've just hit the 20% for that one there. I will throw that one into the mix as well. So I'll pay the costs and just move that one up. Probably even before. No, I'll leave it there. I'll leave it weapons and then system. So that's a good one. Now officer training as well. Get the military academy. Another good one. Another really good one. Look, I'll pay the costs on that as well. Just get all of those things sort of in the mix. Things like the target tracking, etc., which we don't really need. These would be good to get. Again, we can sort of do them without any real problem. And I've got the better destroyers there as well. The destroyers aren't fantastic for the Dayots. Like, they're only a small step up from the frigates. in some factions the destroyers are really, really powerful. I mean, the cruisers usually are, you know, like cruisers are usually usually got a lot more that we can put onto these. You know, wouldn't mind getting those. I don't want to sort of get too many things queued up. Yeah, we'll just keep on moving our way up. We've certainly got a lot of really good stuff in here. Got the ultra-dense projectiles. This is the large heavy guns. I don't know how we must have taken that one through trade because we don't have the lead up for that one. We're playing with random paths, which means that not all of the paths will sort of join up. So this is a heavy railgun. This is the heavy railgun version 2. We don't even have that, and yet this one doesn't connect yet. It may not connect just because of the random paths. That would be the traditional way of getting there. Advanced torpedoes is as far as we can go in that particular one. We've got the high energy cohesion with the shockwave torpedoes, which I don't think I'll worry about. So again, it's the we need to find ultimately three more weapons research. So what we'll do is we'll now see if we can find a location. I think we've looked before, but I can now see so much more. So we're either looking for all research or weapons research or high-tech research, actually. So if we just go back across into exploration and then do a search and type in the word research. So these are all the different research centers that are around the place. Anything that looks like this is ours. So we actually do have, so these are already ones that we actually have. If I go and click on any of these, this one here is 14 high tech. Now this is actually controlled by the Boscarans. So the Boscarans actually have this one at the Antimony Research Center, which is something I would love to get. That would actually, ultimately that would then get me what I needed to with high tech. That one there is sensor research, which is not really all that valuable, but this one here, so there's two different research facilities there. We can't even build into it, to be honest. We don't have control of that. So unfortunately, I either have to go to war to take that one. This was another fantastic high-tech research. Where's that one? Aquila. Now that one we could take. It's sort of inside the Denbolt areas. Now, technically, we can't really build inside the Denbolt areas, but they are subjugated to us. They're a vassal. So that was the Aquila Research Center. We've got this one as well: sensor research, reactor research. So nothing really important there. We've got our own all research and ancient knowledge one. 20 reactor research, not really helpful. Then there's 11. This is the Gizarian Dominion. That's all research, 4%. With our we've got a scientist on board there. Sensor, high tech. This is, where's that? Oh, hang on. That is down here. The Kamalov Research Center. So who controls that? These guys. All right. So that's the Cormino. See, that one's worth doing some stuff about. That's worth sending a spy to blow that up, if we can do it, and then taking it, because it's in the middle of nowhere, like it's in no man's land. It would take a bit to get out there, so we'd almost need to have like a construction ship just sort of sitting around in here somewhere, ready to go. There's a choke point of nebulas all the way through here, so we don't have a real clean way to go from our systems out to this one. But that would be certainly something worth using as an objective. The Cavalier is ours. Lynx is engine research. This one is Gizerian again, industrial, not really what we want. That's nothing we want either. These are ours. That's all research, again, nothing much really there. Again, the Boscarans have got heaps of these high-tech ones. So where's that one? Right there, that's in the middle of their territory. At the moment, that's the only real high-tech one that we could go for, that would be, that we could do some stuff with. And that one there is also 15% high-tech. We're not seeing any weapons research though yet. It's industrial, reactor, troop research. Yeah, so we're not finding the weapons research, unfortunately. We just need to get 3 more. We'll still just head that way because, you know, you never know. Hopefully we'll sort of, if we can pick up all research as well, but there really wasn't much that we could sort of see around the place. So I'll just leave that where that is. Anyway, let's unpause, just let the game thump forward. This negative cash flow doesn't really worry me too much because we do actually have like a lot going on. Like, so the cash flow will, like, even though it's a lot, we still should be able to get enough with our bonus income. Madman saying, I think scientist bonuses, scientists, yeah, they do actually. That's a good point actually. If I go and look at our scientists, we've only got 1. And so he does have +6 in high tech. You know, if we could get, if we look at these guys, we've got Kestri Kasip, armored troop, hyperdrive, high tech of 2, construction research. He's a prisoner. It's funny, I can't actually, I don't know if we're getting bonuses from him. He's at the Prijapati Research Facility, which must be out here somewhere, I'm guessing. God, where is he? Prijapati Research Facility. Not seeing it there. That's interesting. I wonder why not. So there may be other things that we're just not even aware of. Shield research. Yeah, so there's and that's inside that other territory. Not sure why he is still actually active. I think we'll bring him back to a different location and just get started from there. Yeah, so he'll end up being there, and I'm not sure where that actually is. But anyway, we might as well make use of him if we can. He's a prisoner, but I'm not sure who he's doing research for. New frigates completed. I'll just dismiss both of those. We don't need those messages. 27.99, so we're sort of moving forward. Fusion ignition, that's good. Again, what's that? Not sure where the fusion ignition actually kicks in. Fusion Mastery there. Oh, yeah, okay, back in here, which we don't need. Oh, that's the Nova cores. Yeah, so we don't know what these are the best around, but we have now sort of got our own quantum reactors and things. So that's the Quamino tech. New frigate completed. Actually, yeah, so man is saying check the captured scientists. Yeah, that's the only one we've got. I don't know why we've got sort of control of him, though. Construction of new frigate has been completed at Klakamu 2 spaceport. Again, that's fine. These are all just part of the 11th, which is going to go back over to the Uberli system. So you can see down through there, we've got the 10th fleet now moving back. First fleet is got no mission, waiting for fuel tankers. Now it will make its way back to that station. The second is loading troops at Lantrini, so it's also moving through space. And the third is also just now waiting. It says guarding that one. I'm just going to go and stop and clear any missions. So it's now got no mission. That should now move back again to that monitoring station. So we had given it a... There we go. It's now moving off to that particular station. So it's now just the first is the only one really just waiting for the fuel tankers to come. They'll then fuel up and then they'll move back out as well. And really what we now want to look at is just to see when we end up getting the these things built. So 45% enslavement control facility built in through there, which is fine. Again, more frigates now coming just to protect the system. And so these are slowly building up. So the armour barracks there has been built. Not that we need anything from that one. Enslavement control facilities back in through there. What I might do is like this was the old capital, Uberli 5. So we can build a few different things there. We've got robotic troops, we've got troop cloning, special operations barracks we don't need. Planetary fighter base. I should start building more of these around the place. And the administration centre, definitely want to get that in these locations for both of these. And we need to get star bases built in through here. So we actually don't have a spaceport. Yep, so the pirates are just attacking different things. So the Draconia oligarchy is who were they? The Xenox. Okay, so they're at war with the Xenox. Now with this, just so we don't keep on getting the beeps, I'll just with the planets, I can build. I can actually just go in and go to new ship or base, and I can then just go back and build a spaceport. So I've got a few different sorts of versions of spaceports in through this other side. So I can construct these if I'm wanting to. So which one's the better one? This one here. So this is SSP1 small spaceport version 3. So I can, if I do that, it's just going to randomly place it around where it is. But if I'm thinking, okay, where's a likely attack going to be coming from? It's probably going to be coming from out this way somewhere. And so I want that to be on that side of the planet. So instead of picking from here, I can just select the planet and then just right click in that direction and then just build. So we've got this one here for 21,000. So I will actually go and build one there, and I'll do the same down in here as well, just so we've sort of got a bit of just so we've got some things in through this other side as well. So this one here will just go Uberli 5, and I'll just choose this angle. So build small spaceport. There we go. All right, so they'll now build the spaceports there. So we'll start to develop up this system. Oh, independent colony. Sometimes they've got special things. Ilocana. They're way down over here. They've got a resort base there. Yep, there's only a scenery bonus there. And again, I'm just looking to see what you get, the empire bonuses and things, to see if it's worth taking, which it's not. Now, the Reptillians will be one of the next factions to come as well, of the new factions. I'm not sure when that will hit. I think it's still a little way off, but that's what they're working on those at the moment as well. They're not playable at this stage. I always found them a weird race, to be honest. Nothing to do with us. Dismiss those frigates. So the 11th will be just building up over here to be then moved across to this location. First is still waiting for the fuel tankers to arrive, but the fuel tankers look to be there now. Otherwise we'd see other dots further away. There goes a fuel tanker. No mission. Now they're offering us protection. I'm going to decline that. So internal stabilization has occurred at Lamtrini 4. So this is actually, there's something that's actually happened here. So mission completed. Our agent Mandu Saxel has evaded detection after successfully carrying their mission to reduce internal unrest from dissidents. As a result, our empire will have reduced war weariness and corruption for the next 2 years. That's going to then lead to more money. Which we are sort of struggling here, but you can see that the cash flow is now starting to correct itself as well. So I'm not overly concerned with that. So Ubalai, Chandor Meku, leader of the Ubalai endemic bliss, has been killed in a ground battle at Gemini 4. So it looks like that has collapsed now as well. So we're now going to find there's going to be lots and lots of independent little worlds. So Gemini 4 has now fallen. Now this is a Dayot world. So we actually have, this is one that they had taken over, not from us, but just that they actually had there. Now we've got 0 colonization chance in through this other side. So Gemini 4, so that one did rebel, and their replacement leader, now this is still rebelling as well. So there's new leaders sort of being formed all over the place here. This one here should be okay. So that will be, is that the, doesn't have the star, so where are they gone? This is now their new capital. This one's also rebelling. They're going to struggle. Oh no, they'll be okay this time, but eventually they'll collapse. So just be constant attacks going in. Now this is now something I would like to get hold of. And we can do that through gifts. Gemini 4. Because you don't have enough money. So you can see there, invasion when able. Your empire will prepare to invade and take the independent colony by force. Note that invading independent colonies incurs a reputation penalty. I can do other things. I can change that one from being back to manual. I'm surprised that's not the one that we go with. That surprises me, because I've now moved the second. I mean, I can always move the second back and just do the invasion. I think I'll just manually try this one here, just because they should be friendly with us ultimately. I mean, with the same faction. So it's they're troubled by our poor reputation. They are neutral with us. It is trending downwards a lot. So our reputation is terrible. Yeah, maybe. It would be a nice little world to have. It's sort of fairly safe. Where's the second? The second is just right there. It just doesn't have any infantry at this stage. We're going to be able to pick it up. Unfortunately, it's going to take too long to build the infantry on these worlds. So we'll go back to Lamb 24. Maybe we'll sort of come back and just get the second to pick up what it needs to pick up, and then we'll go back. Quark has been detected after failing to destroy the Percham 1 mining station. Unfortunately, they were able to escape. It's okay. New escorts. Yeah, I think at this stage we're now, because we're bombarding planets and doing things like that, no one's really going to be wanting to be friendly with us. We've got a very, very wide empire now. This is good. We're now starting to make good money. As soon as we get this, that'll just kick in with higher speeds. Yeah, so their empire is collapsing in a heap. They may be able to hold these two. Maybe. These friendly pirates, they're sort of just going off doing things. Don't know why these guys are here. What is in there? Do they control anything in there? They control this. So they're using that as a refueling station. This is actually in the middle of our territory now. It probably wasn't there before. New escort completed. We'll just leave that one where that is. But these pirates are going in to cause issues for them. So they've had to put a defence force out there to protect that. And if I go back and have a look at this one again, the 9th Defence Force, if I go and select that one, you can see its strength with just a handful of ships is very, very high. They've got very, very strong ships, these guys. Just scenery. I'm really hoping to find more weapons research. Again, the beacon under attack. We'll just dismiss that from pirates. There goes one of the old invasion ships, fleets, which is sort of heading off with only 3 infantry on board. So this is actually still part of the Ubladai endemic bliss from the previous attacks. They were sort of trying to take the Ananke system, but I mean it's no longer a problem. There we go. So we now have this is just an automatic upgrade, so we're now just getting more out of those than what we had there before. You know, we're getting weapon specialization. This will take a bit of time. And in reality, we're not going to be able to do anything with it unless we can pick up that extra 3% from somewhere else. So this one's Fadia 1. That's his now. So they've lost this as well. So Fadia has fallen. So they're completely falling in a heap here. And this is actually a Boscaran world with only 30 million. So this is just a little outpost. There's all they've got left there. Oh, Mandu has been captured by the Draconeer oligarchy. Been imprisoned. Accept gift. Thank you. So they've collapsed down to just 30 million, and they're just in control of a handful of Boscarans in just a little outpost in the middle of nowhere. And that's it, how the mighty have fallen. They've still got a big presence back out through here. This is why claiming these worlds would actually be pretty damn good. So there goes the second. They're just going to make their way through back to Lamtrini. System maps recovered. New destroyer completed for the 11th. Trade offer. Unknown ancient ruins. I'm sort of now actually interested, but I just don't know where they are, so I'm going to decline that one, and they'll be too far away. Regan's saying, how do they afford to maintain those fleets? They don't, actually. That's exactly it. These fleets will need to be pulled apart, so their economy will tank, and these fleets will then be destroyed. They'll be sort of basically mothballed. They've got fleets all over the place from the war, so they've just got all these leftover ships. So they will be essentially scuttled eventually, just when they completely run out of money. I mean, in fact, if we have a look and see what they've got left. I'll just pause that. So if we go down and have another look at these guys, so they are now, they're still a vassal of ours. Their war weakness is starting to come back through. Yeah, they pay us 83 credits. What have they got? Negotiate a deal. They've still got a bit of money. So they've still got savings. Yeah, that would be to give them back, which I'm not going to do. Yeah, no, they're pretty screwed. I don't know if they'll collapse completely. Monitoring station being boarded. Okay, so that's yep, that's okay. So the pirates are just causing issues for us. That was your money on the right. Yes, oh, there was two actually. You're right. Yeah, it wasn't theirs. Yeah, they don't have anything. They've got nothing. Yeah, so they should be. They should essentially end up. All of these fleets should just start to disappear fairly soon. Don't know if they end up. Yeah, all of that's still okay. I'm actually not sure what happens with when a empire collapses like this. Like, that's a big collapse. They're actually, they may be okay with that last little planet. You could get lots of bases for their pointless prisoners. Well, the spies, I don't really want them coming against me. And we did actually do a sell-off before. So we gave them back most of their characters, except we want to try to get the scientist on our side. Monitoring station completed. Actually, I might talk with the these guys. Negotiate a deal. We've got two of our spies here. If I gave them the territory map, they will accept that. You can see we've got heaps more tech than them. The territory map is not a big deal. It's more the galaxy map is the one that we don't want to give them. It's worth a heap. So I think they'll actually just do that. They've got nothing else that they'll do. So let's just go and what do you think of this deal? There we go. So that gets us back our spies. So the Quiminos are at war there. That's okay. Yeah, so Quimino are sort of struggling with a few of the others at the moment. The second is now back in through here. Has now picked up 8 infantry, 15 armor. Well, let's go back out and take this Dayot colony. Grab a second, and we'll just do a prepare and invade. We'll just do that one there. Now, because we now jump so fast through hyperspace, we'll get there pretty quickly. There goes the first fleet, just finally leaving. So, like, the second fleet has been able to go back to Lamtrini, pick up troops, and then come all the way back again. So, back at Lamtrini again. Yeah, we are building more. That's fine. So where's this one here? Yeah, it's still out this way. And I sort of need to keep these where they are. But look, the pirates are causing issues. What I might do is I might even send one of my other fleets down just to destroy whatever pirates we can find. Can we see anything? So that one's a friendly one. Dirty pillagers we're also friendly with. Where are these pirates coming from? Ecdarian Authority. Is there a pirate radar, but from where? Dirty pillagers, that's friendly. I'm not seeing any of them anymore, except for the two friendly ones. So their pirate bases are hidden somewhere, possibly inside the territory here. Again, they've struggled. That means it's still going, still going. So yeah, they're really struggling. New leader. Yeah, they're now feudal, so they've now become a feudalism. Look at the Ecdarians. I just don't know where that pirate group is coming from, and it's a bit too far away for me to go and protect it properly. But it's, even having said that, it's still an important base. So here comes the second. let's see how we're going with the building these locations. Okay, so we've now got the enslavement control facility, and we're just still building this planetary administration center, which will then sort of give us even more income. And so I think we'll now enslave this group. This will give us even more income. Now we are making a bit of money here, I think. Yeah, actually, no, the development is growing. We're making a small amount here. So we will actually go now across, and with this particular group, go down to the Ikaru, and they can be enslaved. So enslaving this race, this slavery will also provide a bonus to the colony's economic output, negatively impact their reputation, also cause concern at the other colonies with this race. So essentially we're just going to get anything we have of the Ikaru, we're just going to enslave now. Actually, I better just double check. Ubelai 4. Assign mission. Yep, we'll assign that one. Let's go to Ubelai 4, because this is the other one that we just want to make sure that we've also got the enslavement facility done there. Yes, we do. And we do have the administration center there as well. So what we'll do is we'll throw this group into enslavement as well. So we've got a billion Ikaru in here. So we'll enslave. Hang on, that's... Did we do that? Yes, Ikaru enslaved. I didn't click on anything else, did I? But that's okay. And I can now just apply that to all colonies if I wanted to. But having said that, I am really I'm doing it colony by colony, so I'll just enslave that one and enslave this one. So population and enslave. So this is the 11th Defence Force, which is now sort of just in here to protect this system. And so they're now enslaved, but they're still happy. So even though they are enslaved. So we'll now start to see a big quick kick in the income. And this also is part of what we are doing. Proposed gift to the Boscarans. Monitoring stations and warp light field. Yeah, look, I'll... They have been a solid ally, but I don't think I'm going to give them anything like that. We've got one angry colony, which is going to be one of those two, I'm guessing. Oh, there we've got the outpost. Exene is now they're angry because we've enslaved the other group. Exene is is just a small little outpost that we have. We don't want them rebelling. So this is Exene in here, which is actually the mining operation for the... so if we have a look at Exene, we've got 5 troops on the ground, and there's just a handful of Ikarus in through this other side as well. So I'm going to go and enslave them as well. Oh, they're already enslaved. Okay. So so they're essentially just going to be doing what they do. Actually, do they get assimilated? No, the assimilation with these guys is very, very low, but there's only 36 million of them, so they're literally just slave mining to pick up the very important Loris fruit. So they're the slave miner, the Ikaru slave miners for the Loris fruit. So the Wekarus, yeah, the Quamina are actually under a bit of a threat here. But that's a 6 retrofitting. That's okay. Half tempted to get these. I don't really want the Artooks because they have negative research. Now if we have a look at our victory conditions again, we should have even more because we're enslaving. Yeah, so we've got the enslave other races at your colonies, 25% of your empire's population. So we've been able to get up to 50% of that one, which is good, just from those two. The big prison worlds now. And that's really boosting our economy now. So let's go and boost this one, pay the cost. So they can now start to pay for what we're doing here. High tech. Don't think I really want that one. I would like to get this. It's just a bit too far off. We need more scientists. Come on, game, give me scientists. Do we have any other research facilities we can do? See, the Artooks that we do actually have in our empire are giving us a -1 there, which is a problem. This is why I don't want any more of them. Yeah, that's an easy one. Actually, our leader is giving us 5% there as well. Now, that may improve it slowly over time. Actually, in the Boscarans that we have, we do have a couple of Boscaran worlds. That's interesting. We've got Ikaru down there as well. Well, in that case, this Forest Moon that we control. And Ikaru are not enslaved here. And they're 100% assimilated, which is good. You sort of need to have that. Enslavement control, we'll go and throw that one in there. We do want to get the planetary administration centers on these as well. But let's enslave. Oops, hang on, not Gazarians. Ikaru. Okay, so others are making peace. Take that money, thank you. Comes the second. Just bouncing now. Just got to make a bounce into there, and then we can just do the final assault. Proposed gift. I'm going to decline for the simple reason I wouldn't mind them collapsing. Like I wouldn't mind them losing a little bit, just so we can actually sort of pick up some of the some of what they have. Hyperdrive, this is all just hyperdrive technologies. I'll still throw them in because it does give us an overall boost. So we do actually have a few other locations now that we can sort of establish with the research stations. We've got a lot. Like we've got a hell of a lot actually. Along with the spaceports and things. It'd probably end up being cheaper to actually... Oh, hang on. Oh no, that's not... I thought that was the pirates there for a second. I'm losing the plot. Minos have invaded that one from the Teekans. The Teekans must be almost dead. So this is all this part of the galaxy is at war, and we're not at war yet. But then ultimately they've got the Gizarians up through here, the Boscarans, and the Mortallans now sandwiched in between three different groups. The first is now back in position. The second is on its way. The third is also in position. So our main attack fleets are sort of ready to move forward now. So the 8th Defence Force, yep, I'll assign these missions. See, the 8th is in a raid stance with what it's doing. Just put the combat overlay on just so we can see our main fleets and things. It sort of just cleans up the user interface. So we'll do this invasion. Fadia, I'm not sure if I want to do anything with that one. So one angry colony, which again would just be that outpost. Everyone else is pretty happy. We're making great money. Now, if we can just pick up another scientist, that would go a long way to getting what we need. Again, the wars are raging through here. So the second is sort of running out of fuel, but it's on its way. They've got a lot of bases and things. I think there's unknown bases around. Where is that? Not sure where those bases are, but they do have something unknown. So that was in there. Zeeble. Just looking at what they're sort of wanting to would charge a lot for. What was that other one? The Arcaseed mining station is back from this in this system. There it is. This little moon. It's got this ale. This one's worth a lot. Anyway, I'll leave it where that is. Here we go. Coming in now to take this world. There we go. We've got weapon specialization research now completed. It provides the following advances: the Weapons Academy. So we should be able to now go back again to our capital. And Trini system, and we'll just keep on building up at Trini 4. Actually, we need to get the planetary hive, the planetary fighter base. I do want to get that one. Special operations barracks. Oh, no, we've already got those. That's what we already have. Build facilities. Here we go. So weapons academy. So we'll throw that one in there. Yep, that's all we need to get there. So that's fine with what we've got at that location. I might just go and have another quick look back up in here as well. This is really going to be where the if invasions do come forward, this is going to be where they'll be. So we've got 4 troops there, so not a hell of a lot. Get the planetary fighter base. I might even pick up troop cloning there. Barracks potentially, but this really is going to be like our gateway area for the for the invasion. Everything else looks pretty good there. All right, now we just have to hope that we ultimately end up with some way of just picking up a little bit more weapons research. Oh, there we go, weapons mega labs. So we need 50% required there for high tech. So high tech specialization is important. Not going to quite get what we need there. I mean, we're going to be a long way off. I feel confident that we'll get it eventually. I'll pay the costs on that one as well. Actually, I'll leave it at the bottom of the list. Now, system governance, while we're here, let's have a quick look down. We can pay the costs here, just to halve the time. First fleet just going back in for retrofits. Now that'll only be the fuel tankers. Comes the invasion now. Okay, so this is this one gives us plus 10 psyops. Attach pair of gold data cylinders. So we often in these independent worlds you end up with these sort of artifacts. So just wait for this invasion to go in. There we go, invading the independent colony. Yeah, we're not going to have any real problems here. There you go. So they'll smash their way through. Now, the fact that these are mainly Daots means that they will assimilate basically, I think, straight away. I think that's the way it works. With Monkey saying, which race do you think is the most fun to play as currently? I'll just dismiss that. That was very, very quick. I'll just pause there for a second. Yeah, so actually, it's sort of funny. I have a lot that I actually will happily play, and a couple that I don't like playing. I don't like playing as the Teekans, and it's funny because a lot of people actually really love playing as those. But I also don't really like the Artooks either. And the reason the Teekans have got like a strange way of combat. Like I prefer the better heavy hitting combat factions ultimately, even the ones that are fairly sort of friendly. I mean, in the sense that they may be more passive. Like for example, I really enjoy playing as the Quamino. I love playing as them. because of the research, and the Yakdarians as well. Even though the Yakdarians haven't been fleshed out properly, I still really, really love playing as those two factions. They're probably my two favourite, I think. I enjoy the Boscara as well, just for the full-on aggression. But they're all good. Like, you know, this Daot run has been a real lot of fun. Thoroughly enjoyed it, actually. So what we're going to do here now is just go back into the world and have a look at the troops that we've got. And so I can actually just go and build mercenary brigades here as well. These are, yes, see how they're assimilated straight away. So we basically just have a friendly world right from the very, very start. All we need to do is just keep a bit of a group left behind. So I'm just going to go and garrison that one, that one, that one. So I'll just put all of the infantry down, so that all of those, and like all of our armor is about the same, but I'll just go and put that weaker one there in. So that's all fine. So we'll leave those where they are. Get our two generals and put them back on this one through here. So we'll just go and load troops, and go to these guys and just tell them that they're to go back to the second invasion fleet. Transfer. Transfer. So we've got these on manual, which means we have to sort of manually control where they go. Unpause. They're now fueling up from the planet itself. It's funny, the second invasion fleet it's not really where we want that to all be. Let's have a quick look and see what we've got through there. Still got 3 infantry there, no, but that's enough. I'm happy with what we have there. So I'll just keep those guys where they are. And then we've still got this grudge hold subversion cylinders, so I can actually go back to this one here. And so these are the ones that we actually have. Now, do we want to move these across? Ship maintenance, savings, diplomacy. There is a way of moving them. I've forgotten what it is. Yeah, loading troops. Yeah, that's sort of automating through what happens there. There is a way of doing it this way. Planetary Defense Center there. We're going to be wanting to get the Planetary Administration Center. To move an artifact to a nearby ship, base or colony in your empire, first select the current location, then control right click on the destination to show a pop-up menu. Right, so if I go back to here, control right click, immediately move that to the banished arrow. There we go. So that's now being moved across. And we have this one as well at Indara 6. So this particular world is how far away? It's not too bad, but I think I will actually just go and move it off. So if I control right click with Indara 6 selected, just go backspace. So I guess it's control right click and then it just will automatically then be moved across into here. Yep. So it's now on its way as well. Hopefully. They still don't have it. There it is. Now it's on board. All right, so the second, we're going to go back to load troops at Lamtrini 4. So they'll move back to the home world. Just missed that one. And because we've already got like a, there's enough here to warrant getting, and I'm guessing any attack will come down this way. So I'm just at this location. I will build a small spaceport out there as well. I don't need to take the others. I'm not really interested in the others. But that at least gives us that world as well now. Now, when they get back to Lamtrini, they should just drop that off, I think, automatically. Actually, how are we going now with the weapons research? Did that do anything? 37. We have 38. We just need 2 more. Well, we can hope that our leader will ultimately pick up a bit more. Supreme Inquisitor. Yeah, weapons research from a trait. Yeah, give them some of their money back. So still just cleaning out areas around this area. So these are friendly pirates on the way back again. So they're going off just causing headaches in this area. There's a few little Boscaran worlds in through here as well. Just dismiss that. So we've got a few ships just ranging around all over the place. So they're already building research stations there as well. So hopefully we pick up more scientists. We just need 1 more scientist, I think. Go a long way. So we're very close to getting the tech that we really want. They're all making peace out through here now. Till the Quaminos start to get aggressive, I'll just sort of, and what I want to do is ultimately, probably won't happen this session, but I really want to just go almost straight through and just crush their home world. And sort of just, just destroy that, which then sort of will ultimately should end up with them, having trouble everywhere. But, we may have to fight them a little bit first. They've been now they were at war. Let's have a quick look and see what they're doing. We've got rampant war weariness, so now is a good time. And they're still at war with the Boscarans. How are they going? they're not as bad. It's sort of almost like what we want to be doing is essentially bouncing into these sorts of wars when they're struggling with their war weariness. Now, when we declare war, they'll get a bit of a rush of blood, and they'll actually end up, the war weariness will come backwards a little bit. So the south and the east is now sort of making peace everywhere. So they've got a small defence force out there. Comes the second again. These Vorta cars can be difficult. That's good. There's a Caslon mine there. Again, this is no man's land. So not really going to be of any great value to anyone really until wars sort of start out that way. With the second, I think I'll actually now give the second a home base of Lamtrini. Just so it always sort of wants to come back here. It's just a map. We've got heaps of money. Why not? And we might be lucky with some of these where we end up, getting something that we can actually go and build. But no, there's nothing else. There's also unknown. Areas in the galaxy. There's always stuff to discover, so that we may end up finding that little bit of extra weapons research that we need, which would be great. There's the second again. System governance is then going to really push our money back up again even further. Although we will need to now go back through each of the planets and upgrade the planetary administration complex. I don't think it's automatic, so we've now got system governance. So we've got the planetary administration complex in through there, so we'll just dismiss that one. And now we're doing the officer training. Just go and rocket that one forward. Now what else we have? Got galactic diplomacy there. All researcher +5. That's the one. If we get that one, this will then give us the what we need for the weapons. So that is definitely worth getting. It's 6 years though, with that particular one. But that would then give us what we need for weapons. Let's just go and pay the costs here. I'll pay the cost there as well. And we'll then just move that one up to the second spot. Right. Actually, we'll just double it. Like, you never know with these things. Like, it may be enough. We may already now have what we need. We're so close. Yeah, just 2 off. Anyway, that 5% will then give us this one. And once we get that, then we'll be wanting to get cruisers and things as well. I love the tension that the game sort of injects, just with the because it's a simulation rather than a game. yeah, you can't just game your way through it. Like, it's really, really special game, the way it does work. Now we've got a few troops now running out of fuel here. What I might do is I might just tell them to stop what they're doing and just refuel at Ubalai 5, which is to go back there. So just going to get them to refuel. So the second will refuel at Ubalai 5. I should have done that on the way through. Just otherwise we're going to end up having a few ships that are going to be really, really slow. Began saying, I hate doing multi-year research projects. Too much time for something to go wrong and set it back. That's why that's one of the reasons I tend to pay for it. See, we've crashed this research, which means you can't lose it. Like, it does it in half the time, and also doesn't. You can't have a failure in the research. Okay, I'll just read this comment. So I've got Hempus Nissan is then saying, hi, I would like to watch this playthrough from the start, but I'm having issues finding where the playthrough actually starts. Can someone help me out? Actually, you know what, that's me. I'm terrible at doing this. Just let me pause. I know I've done some. I'll just have a quick look and see if I can find it. Tab. People ask this a lot, and I always forget to do it. I'll just go back across to my YouTube area, and I'll see if I can just chuck them all into a playlist. So if I go, I don't know if these are going into an actual playlist. It looks like they're not. Okay, so. If I go into my videos, these will all be live streams. So I'll just go into live. So this is an area where I can just manage things. So if we go with Distant Worlds, and now we've got a few. When did we start doing this one? Where I sort of started to actually pick them up. If we, I can chuck them all into a. I'll just quickly try to sort of put them all into the right place. The Arctic War, that I think is the one that we. I don't know if that was the start of where we did it. Just these blasters. Yeah, that might be. Just can't remember where we. Yeah, the Harkonish Merchant Guild. I don't think that this is back from January. I don't think it was that far back. Let me have a quick look and see. I'll just have a bit of a look through and just sort of see if I can pick what's happening there. A target location. Is that the same one? That looks like it's a previous one. Just looking at what's going on there. Sorry, this is really poor quality. For us, where we can start to sort of do damage. Yeah, so I don't think it was that one there. So I think that was actually a start. I don't know if that was the start that we made. Let me just have a quick look at it. I know that I had restarted a few times. Yeah, no, that's the Harkonish. That's not it. So it's not that one. Just go back out again. So this one here, I think, might be the start. Actually, no, that was still the Harkonish as well. Yeah, because I didn't think it was this far back. So let me have a quick look at this one here. That's certainly got the wrong the wrong one there. Just looking for colours. Yeah, that's the wrong colour. Pretty sure. Yep, so now it's still playing as the Harkonish in that instance. So it might be this one here where there was some giveaways that I had. Wrong ships there, but that's still okay. Cross. Send. And yeah, this is it. So this is the first one. So I'll pop these into a playlist. Sorry about that. So that's a day one there. Now I don't know if I was playing that one all the way through. We played Marbles on stream. That was the giveaways. Yep, Lamtrini Surveillance Oligarchy there. Yep, so this is a start. All right, so I'll throw these into a playlist, just so that they're there. So that was from that one there. Just bear with me, guys, and I'll chuck these in. Yeah, people ask this a lot, so I might as well just get it done. I always forget to do it. And so we've got our current one as well. I don't know if I can put that into a playlist while I'm currently doing it. I'll just see if I can. Add to playlist, there we are. And this will be Distant Worlds. Distant Worlds 2, and this is Dayuts. Probably spelled incorrectly. D-H-A-Y, is it? That looks a bit better. All right, so I'll create that one. And actually, I didn't do the, I'll just save that. So they should all now be in that playlist. I'll just go and double check. Yeah, we've got 8 videos in there. And that's the details, videos. So we've got this in reverse order. So actually I need to change this one. I haven't done this for a little while, guys, sorry. I'm going to change the order of it. It's not letting me show it, it's not letting me do it in the correct order. But normally I just dragged them. Yeah, I'm not seeing it there, sorry guys. There's a way of doing it though. It's not an edit that we need to be doing. It won't be this. I thought there was like a button you could click on to change the order. There's the details there. Oh, this is default video order. So this is the date published oldest. Save that. And we'll have a look and see again. Back to videos. There we go. All right. So that is essentially the yeah. They're the videos there. So hopefully that helps. That will then be this particular run. Yeah. Anyway, finally got there. So anyway, that's so that one is now done. And now we've got a new playlist there, so that's good. Yeah, I should automatically have that one done for Distant Worlds and those sorts of playthroughs that I do a lot of. I'll try to remember to do that one. There we go. Began's saying, didn't realise it prevented failures. Yes, no, it completely prevents them, because some factions really struggle with failure, and Dayots are one of them. And so, yeah, you definitely want to be crash researching anything that's important. So I hope, actually, I should publish that. That's where that is. Actually, sorry, I should just put that into the chat, just in case you're now trying to find it. Playlists and let's get the list of it. Here we go. Come on, come on, come on. It's going straight back to the first video. Again, I've got the playlist there. There we go. Grab this one. Oh, that's only edit. Geez, we're not having much luck here. Well, that is, I guess, the playlist there. I think that's going to be it. Now, normally there's a different way of it would sort of then come back through. Yeah, it should still pick it up. Got the share there. No, it's still not it. It's only the individual video. All right, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Come on, why is it not easy to do? It's got a playlist there. I don't know if this will work. You can try this one, I guess. I'll just pop that in the chat. See if that one works. I hope it's not sort of like the hidden area for me to edit that. Just if someone can just test it and see if that one actually does work for that playlist, that would be good. Normally, you just grab what you need. Hit a playlist share. Actually, there's share there. Oh, there we go. Is it the same one? I'll just go and throw that one in. Probably the same link. Oh no. It's a bit different. So here we go. So got those in there, right? So anyway, that's finally done that. So many people have asked me to do that for the Distant Worlds. So thank you for asking again while I'm actually live streaming. So Jasmine, I was saying hello. Hard question, I know, but looking, yeah, didn't miss a gem. But looking if I didn't miss a gem, what is the game you most enjoyed these past few years? Like top of your list? Age of Wonders 4, basically, is it's always sort of at my top. I just love that game. I've Age of Wonders series has been my favourite series of games ever since they first came out. So so that for me is pretty much, you know, a must-have. The Distant Worlds 2 I really love playing as well. I sort of like that it's always a bit different. Syntopia was a big surprise just in recent months. I've really enjoyed playing that as well. What is it? There's also the Quasimorph is a game which, again, is just getting better and better and better all the time. There we go, Hunter's Monkey saying it works. That's good. Okay, that's great. All right, so at least those that is now there. What I should do is now make sure that I've got the playlist edited. Actually, sorry, I will do this. I'm just going to quickly go back in to my YouTube stream. I'm just going to quickly edit the whoops, where are we? Stream settings. Can I do it? I can't do it. I can't do it. Analytics. Oh, I can't do the edits here. Sorry guys, I can't actually I can't pop that one in there. I'll try to remember to put that in, but I know I'll forget. I know I'll forget. Anyway, that's in there. But yeah, no, there's been a lot of really good games that have come out. Yeah, I don't know. Like for me though, Age of Wonders 4 is always the one that, and it's currently at 50% off as well. If you're sort of interested in Age of Wonders 4, so that's sort of yeah, that for me has always been sort of like the top of the games for me. All right, let's get back into it again. So we're going to get the second. If we don't go back and refuel with the second, now they're already some of them have already run out of fuel. So we've got some ships now they're going to be too slow. So they'll still make their way in, but they'll just be slow getting there. But that way, at least we'll be able to do what we need to do at that point. So we've now got officer training, which again has been crashed. The research has been crashed. So that means we're getting it at half the like in half the time, and also you can't fail. So Jasmine, saying thank you. I'll look into Age of Wonders. Never tried it. Yeah, it's a great game. Like it's I've been playing that the last few days. So if you have a look back at my playlists, I don't know if I've got that in a playlist. Some of them I automatically have them go into playlists, and I should be doing that with Distant Worlds. That's why I was thinking I could just go and edit the description. I'm sure I can somewhere. It's got to be in the Steam set. Here we go. I can do it here. I'll just go and pop that in there. Playlist. There we go. Save that. All right. So at least that will now start to be in that particular group. But yeah, these Age of Wonders I've been playing like just base game stuff actually, which I really enjoy. So Gilmer is saying, are they going to make a pirate DLC? Yes, that's the next one coming for this game. Is ultimately going to be what they have. Mission completed. Okay, the den bolts are easy. They're subjugated to us anyway. Yeah, so it's called Shadow Rising, and I know that they're sort of close to finishing it. Like they're not that far off. They haven't really been focusing much more on the game for a couple of months, like the other bits and pieces in the game. So they've just been trying to get that one ready. I'm on the beta test, but I haven't actually had a look at the beta testing of the game since basically until it's really close. I don't like to have a look, because it can sort of jade my thoughts about something if I'm sort of get too involved when it's still pretty raw. So these ships here, these seconds are trying to come back in for refueling. That one there's all right. That's repairing. Oh, this is an old pirate ship. I've got a few old pirate ships I'm just letting do their own thing. So the second, really, that's the last of the ships that need to come back in. Bolland is saying, yeah, Shadow Empire. Actually, yeah, Shadow Empire is another one up there. Age of Wonders 4, Field of Glory Kingdoms. Yep, that's complex, but yeah, it's certainly enjoyable. Distant Worlds 2, Syntopia on my top of the pie. Yeah, that's yeah, they're pretty much at this stage. But Quasimorph as well. Like I love Quasimorph. That's again, it's one of those games where I keep on looking at it and thinking, oh, if I've got an excuse, I can go back in and play that one, because I really enjoy it. Quasimorph is one where you actually have like an agent that has to go through a random map and sort of like raid different planets in the solar system, like different outposts, and do different missions. It's a really cool game. For a procedurally generated game, it's just amazing. So we'll get these ones back in through here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them back to defend at that point in time as well. So they're still going to refuel, and then they'll go back and move back to the home base, which is Lamtrini 4. What was that I just hovered over? What that was. I had something that just popped up. Doesn't matter. So still waiting on this ship to be refueled. Just going to grab myself a drink of water while we wait for that to happen. If you're watching any of those playlists and there's a gap in it, it'll be because I did a stream on Slytherin. So usually there's, sometimes there's like a bit of a gap between videos. Right, the second is now done. Now they're actually decided to retrofit at the in through this other side. So these are the small troop transports are being retrofitted automatically. Look, I'll let that happen, and then they'll go back to Lamtrini 4. So we'll just sort of let them sort themselves out back in these slave colonies. A couple of fleets in there. Okay, we're getting 80% of the officer training up this way. It's unusual only having one scientist as well. Tylenthal is saying, if you have 1,600 of 2,000 troops, will they automatically build, or do you have to issue commands to do so? If you don't have to build, can you show me how to recruit, please? Yeah, so let's just say, you'll see through here that we've got 1,600 in through here. Now, each ship will also then have like a limit of what it can actually then go and do. So, for example, if I go and grab this Battle of Lamtrini, which is a small troop transport, and have a look at it, it's actually got some troops already on board. So it's got two armored troops and one infantry. And so you'll see there that the size, like 5,000, then these are 10,000. So it's actually got a total. This particular ship has got a total of 25,000 in terms of the actual forces that it's got on board. If I have a look at the actual the ship itself, this is actually what it's made up of. So we actually have troop compartments in through here as well, which has actually got a troop capacity of 12,500. So when you add both of those together, the two troop compartments, you end up with 25,000. So this one's full at the moment, like of what it can actually then go and support. But let's just say that that I didn't have all of those infantry troops. You can't put a third. You can't put a third of the Octomech brigades, the armour brigades, in because they're 10,000 and we only have 25,000 total capacity. To sort of see what's going on with that as well, like for each of these, what you want to have is to make sure that you end up with ways of actually getting everything onto the ground. So we've actually got three splinter pods, which are three. These are the ways of bringing the troops to the surface. So we've sort of got three of those there just to get the troops down as fast as possible. This is not tech that we actually have for ourselves. So these are, you can see their launch rate for invasions 20 seconds, and launch rate for boardings is 300 seconds to sort of between launches. So we can launch fairly fast with the invasions, but you want to have at least one of these per troop compartment on your designs for the troop ships. But I'm just letting the AI handle this for me. Over through here on this side, you'll then end up getting the summaries of everything. Now there should be more in here. Where is it? You look down. Yeah, troop capacity 25,000. So we get the base amounts of what we can then go and do on these particular ships. So that's then just sort of showing that's the summary of essentially what these components are on board the actual ship itself. So it's an incredible game, just how detailed it actually is. So this is the troop transports. And these are being designed, now they're being retrofitted up at this point in time. So that's, so they're just in the process of being retrofitted to the Volograd 6, which is the AI is just doing that for me. So if we just go back across, I don't know if that answers the question. So normally the recruiting, yes. Now the recruitment of troops, that's only half the picture is what's going on through there. Now what else do we pick up? That's all right. So when we actually have a look at the, so for example, at Lamtrini, I am pushing what I want to be building here to be exact. I do actually have, with the colony detail screen, actually I can do it better from here. The colony automation. So I do actually have everything on auto, including the actual, what they're going to be building. But in this case, I am pushing, so I've got automated troop recruitment and garrison. So it's automatically doing what it has to do, but I am pushing these myself a little bit as well. I've just got the officer training. So they will end up, that will always try to, actually again, it gets a bit complex, but if I have a look at that one through there, it says automatic troop recruitment and garrison has been automated, and then it's also got an army template. So this is considered to be a major colony defense army, and so what it does for that particular army is it will then go through, if I go back to my military tab, these are my army templates. And so it's going to, Major Colony Defense Army is what it's doing. If I go and edit that, this is actually the percentage of what it wants to then sort of have with the different types of troops. So it will try to maintain this percentage for what it's actually then getting to do. For an invasion army, if I just go and edit this one, for example, we then end up, we don't have any planetary defense. It wants to have 25% infantry, 40 armored, 20 special forces, and 15 Titans. Now, I do have special forces now, so it will be wanting to bring those in. So they actually sort of go through and help the invasions. If we have a look, we should have special forces in here. If I just go back up. Yeah, we've got a few special forces that we've now sort of built in here. So these are ambush groups. I might get a few more of those, actually. Just build a few more of those up. And because we're making so much money, I might as well just keep on. This is, you'll notice down the bottom there, it says clone, the 142nd Conqueror Force. So that it'll always clone your best troop that you currently have. So I'll get a few more of those as well. And we'll just sort of keep Lamtrini really where we're sort of going to be restocking the troops for the invasions. The second is still loading troops at Uberlife 4. Actually, I don't want that to do that. It's now sort of automatically going off to do things. I want it to go back to Lamtrini. So I'm just going to, now that it's sort of got what it needs, let's just go and tell it to go and load troops at Lamtrini 4. So it will now go off. Quite often, the AI will decide that you've got less... did it get there? Did he actually get there? I've got to be a bit careful. Actually, we've got a heap of troops here. So it was going to try to pick up this Octomech Brigade, but that's okay. We'll just move off and leave that one where that is. Two colonies that are now angry. That outpost and Uberlife 4. That's okay. That's costing me money though. Yeah, Icarus are still enslaved. Not sure what they're doing. We're getting the administration building there. This is the military academy, actually. We'll be wanting to go and build those. This is a... I won't build that one there. Yeah, I won't bother with getting any of those there either. Let's just move across into the Lamtrini system again. go back into the build facilities. Military Academy. Building a lot of stuff here. Now the Planetary Administration Complex. Do we need to upgrade that? No, it's already done it. That's okay. That's fine. Again, this doesn't worry us. They're all good. So Gemini is now building its own, like it's just got the spaceport. This thing is slowly sort of building up, that particular group. How do you assign an invasion template army to a specific attack fleet? So if I go back to the second, what you'll see through here is that the... I'm just going to put them back to defend again. Sorry, just make doubly sure that these are all doing what they need to do. Except treaty. I'll decline that one. So with the when you've actually got like the second is our only invasion fleet that we actually have. So I'll just move that one out of the way. So the second, when I select it down through there, so I can assign like the fleet template in through here, but I can also then assign the army template. So I can actually then say, you know, what mix of troops will it automatically try to load in. Now, if there's not enough troops of a particular type, it will then just fill it up with other types. So it's sort of a bit rubbery the way it does work. But if I had like 100 armor and 100 infantry, it will try to honor the these particular templates, and I can build more of these. So the invasion army, again, if I prefer to have more armored than infantry, I can do that. But really, I haven't had enough infantry to bring things across. And because I've only really had infantry and armored, it has been really pushing the armored forces up, because it's sort of making up for not having all the other bits and pieces. So while we're here, I'll just go and crash this research as well. So this one it's going to cost a hell of a lot, but at least I'll then halve the time. Then that's going to then open up the everything else for me. So exit the research there. So I'm investing very heavily in these techs. Yeah, Jonathan's saying thanks again. I hope that all makes sense. It's the game is complex. You don't have to do that. Like, I tend to not really worry about the army templates at all. Also, there is another aspect of that as well. If we just take it even further, you actually have in your automation settings, when you go to Empire and then your policy, which is essentially your automation, if you go to troops, there are scrap troops and you cannot afford it. So again, if you're sort of running out of money, that used to be the default was it would actually scrap troops. Yep, so this is troop recruitment automated. This is like overall. This is the level of defensive troops at your colonies. Higher levels means your colonies will recruit and garrison more troops. So you can impact this as well, just with the ratios. So trying to get sort of like the different amounts that your empire will then go and build. But there's also even more than that as well. Where is it? There's a thing where it actually will then go through how big. Might not be in there. Maybe it's in here. Okay, menu settings. It may be in this. Actually, no, it won't be in here. Cancel that. Should be in here. There's a way that we'll actually put in the ratios for when it will flick over what size a colony is before it becomes like a large colony. So maybe it's not under military. Colonies. Like how big? Nope, it's not there. God, there's so much automation you can do in this. There's things like this where you've got population before it will build certain spaceports. So you can tweak all these sorts of numbers. But I don't know if I don't think it's back in here. So you've got Border Colony Defense Army. If I just go and edit, can it change this type? Yeah, because this is a specific one. So this is a border colony defense, and you've got major, we've got standard colony defense armies in through here. I thought it triggered automatically across. Like if we have a look at Gemini, for example, I don't know if it'll actually have the what type it actually is. Manage troops. Yeah, no, it's going to bring them up. If we go back to the colony automation, I forget actually what the triggers are. Actually, I'm going to put that one back to auto. Yes, this is a standard. So the army template here. So it has it's automatically done that one. I can change those if I wanted to. Like if I consider there to be a dangerous aspect to these in through here, for example. Like if I just go back in, have a look at the automation. Again, I've got this one set. This is major colony defense army. I'll just go back to automation in there. That will then change if it deems that it needs to. So these are considered majors. Maybe once it hits 1 billion. Yeah, that's major as well. So it's sort of there will be a number somewhere. So Boland's saying, I wish that there was an empty army template for my ship capture fleets or pods. Yeah, I know what you mean. Before I get Titans, I just have a full Titan template. I don't think that will still work. I think it will still actually make what it does is to. I think it'll still just fill it up. To be honest, if it has the opportunity to. You can turn off the automation on that though with the fleets. So I tend, if I'm going to be doing the same thing, I tend to try to keep them away from automation. And with Monkey saying it'd be nice to be able to have actual armies and you could order around like fleet. The game would manage to necessarily transport to the job, or you could order the creation of an army of X strength on a given colony. Yeah, it's sort of. I mean, with the automation, it does have those different templates, but you don't really get to decide. I thought there was a way to decide when they kick in. Anyway, we'll keep on going. Yep, so the second is now moving back through. And yeah, going off to load troops back this way. Now, we haven't seen the end of the war here. Oh, okay, Boland's saying I think the triggers for colony size and army templates are the same as the automatic tax brackets, like default 5 happiness, 20, 40, etc. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. Let's move that one out of the way. Got heaps of money. We're building monitoring stations where we don't need them. The AI will sort of do that one. I've pushed that back to being unimportant. And same with defence bases. I've made them a lower priority, just so we don't build too many of them. Now, we've got to think. So if I go to the Crone system, this is the capital of the these guys here. Crone 2. There's not very much to protect it, but they have an overall defense strength there of 3,000. So we're going to have to bombard this world. So I might just see where I've got my 10th. Yeah, so the 10th is sitting back there. This is my main bombardment fleet. So we'll be wanting to protect this region of space, have an attack group go back up into there. We don't know exactly how big the actual, different defence forces and things are. We can see the overall numbers, like 768 there for the 14th Defence Fleet. Oh, that's the Garrisoning. Yeah, that's more of theirs as well. Invasion fleets down this way as well. The Boscarans look to be fairly strong, but again, they're sort of friendly with us. Oh, here we go. We've got an invasion fleet here. This will be interesting to see. So we've got the second invasion fleet. Now we've been able to spot this. Oh, this is still Garrisoning. So they've only got one armour left on that particular fleet. Not sure where they're heading off to. They're no longer at war, so I don't know why they're in this region. We're not seeing the Mortal forces anywhere. Just keep them coming. Just wait for the second to arrive. So we want to have the invasion sort of ready to go. Now, actually, how many planets do they have in this system? 2. So we'll need to take over those 2 to really sort of smash them. Once we take once you take a capital, you're really they're dead. So with our force, I can pretty much go in, and what I could do is even go and build up because I've got so much money. We've got the 10th fleet, and we've also got this. So the 10th fleet is my my bombardment fleet. I actually don't need a bombardment fleet to be perfectly frank. Like it's sort of, I'm thinking of changing the 10th fleet into one of my other big fleets. So our first and third are large ones. Let's make the 10th. Let's stop it from being with these bombardment ships. So these things into here, these Destructo Mark 1s, have got atomic devastators, but really they're just using Epsilon torpedoes along with atomic devastators. The atomic devastators are great. Actually, the bombardment of the military there at 20 is pretty exceptional. I mean, these are 6, so they still do the job. But these are very, very specific to target the military. Or do we just grab one of the others? We've got the 9th Strike Force. Maybe I'll move the 9th, or what's the 4th? The 4th is just a small defensive group way back over here. That's the 2nd coming through. We've got the 7th down this way. Yeah, maybe we'll make the 9th into like a super fleet. So we've got, this is just a large defence fleet at the moment. If I just go and change that into one of my attacking fleets, this will then sort of end up wanting to get a lot more bigger ships. So I'll just go and load those in. Now it has loaded in these frigates, and I don't really want them in there. I will actually manually go and upgrade those. Just so they become one of my type of ships. More fuel tankers, more destroyers. Alright, so we'll end up sort of with that one coming in as well. So it'll be a big one. We could end up, the destroyers aren't that much better than the other one. So once we get this one though, we're going to be able to then get the better weaponry, but we don't need to, we can sort of get around that one anyway. We don't need to sort of rush that. I think we'll end up, we've got the 7th Defence Force assigned mission. Yep, we'll just quickly go and do that one. So there are pirates still floating around. I just don't know where they're coming from. Yeah, I really want to just make sure that I've got my own force coming back through. Second invasion force coming down as well. Yeah, we've got long-range scanners. If I go and turn the long-range scanners on, see, we've actually got presence. We're seeing a lot of stuff. Oh, there's unknown ships there. We're just they're disappearing off the radar. I think these guys are struggling. So we do actually have an ambassador here who's reporting back, and we're not seeing any ships there. I think that they're almost bankrupt themselves. Yeah, there's still rampant war weariness, which is good for us. Yeah, the known military strength is very weak. That's all we know of. Yeah, that's one of their invasion fleets. 5 infantry on board that one. Just some small troop transports. I'd like to take 2 big fleets into the homeworld. Just turn off those long-range scanners for now. So we'll get started fairly soon, I think. The second is now just coming back in again. And they should pick up some of the special forces as well. So there's still more wars going on down this way. Adrian Serti is saying, what map do you use with how many stars? Or do you always go for the standard map? I just use a standard map. I find that trying to put in too much can be... I mean, you can see that this is 700 stars, and I don't need 2,000. This is plenty big for what we need. So you know, it's sort of the reason I play with these is because it still gives me the maximum size. So I like to have distance, but without stars. If I could play with less stars, I would in these sorts of maps. So the 700 for me is a good size. Everyone's saying try a map with many stars close to each other sometimes. I find it just, I like the distance where you've got to sort of then overcome the problems of distance. I do quite like that in this game. Here comes the second now, just coming back in to pick up the rest of the troops. I think we'll use this as a trigger. And then we'll let it refuel again. Destroy completed. There we go. So the 9th. Now I'm going to leave the 9th sort of in a defensive posture. Back in around here somewhere. These are finally coming home. Okay, that's someone different. That was humans, not us. Alright, so they're coming home. Heroes welcome. After another successful invasion. Pick up more troops. There we go, 190,000 now. Only got one special defence force there, 9 infantry, 14 armour. So that's okay. We'll leave that one where that is. And so they're now they should actually now refuel. got an order to refuel around Trini 4. And then we'll move these off to the front line. Okay, so they're now all fueled up and ready to go. We've got 195,000 there, 2 special forces, that'll be okay. Let's take these now up. So I'm now going to move these up with this other group. And try to refuel there. I don't know if there's any fuel at this location. There won't be any fuel there, but it's okay. We'll just move it up into that position. I think it's time to start this war. So what we'll do is, just in case there's other fleets that are a problem, I don't know if I should sort of send in a surprise attack initially, and maybe even move the 9th Strike Force out. We're inside a nebula here with the 9th. So they're actually on this little world. We do actually have a spaceport. Actually, one thing I've really got to do is, you'll notice that I don't have any actual buildings on some really important little worlds. Let's just move back out again. And just go back to our colonies. So what I wanted to do is just make sure that I've got the planetary administration complexes on all of these. That's okay. That one there has got it. Ubalai has got it. Aridus doesn't. So we'll go with the planetary administration. I could also go with planetary fighter bases on some of these as well. I think I might do that, just so I've got a bit more protection on these frontline areas. This Penal Colony's got it. Gemini 4 has got it. It's got it. That one doesn't. Only got 72 million there. So I'll probably just leave that one. And that one also doesn't have it. So these are just small worlds. Nothing much really going on with those. So everything else has now got that. So that's all fine. That will just give me even more money. The second... Yep, so it's now moving off into that position. So I'll move them up with the other 2. And I can't see, I think that I prefer to be sitting back in here with the 9th. So I'm going to send the 9th, tell them this is now their new home, their centre of operations. And I will actually make sure that it's got a big defensive radius there, which is good. Now the 10th is still waiting back in here as well. Yeah, so I'll keep this one as an attack group. All right, so we've now got everything moved in. So some of our beacons are under attack down this way. These are just moving off. They've got a they're just operating from this little region through here. Well, I think this will sort of move in. Let's just wait for the second to arrive. Here they come. Give them some money, because they've been the ones really holding this war for us until we're ready. Now, I think what we'll do is, I think I will just go straight in with the first and the second. Actually, no, wait for the second. Wait for the second to arrive, which is my invasion force. And again, just with the fuel. So we're seeing this has sort of almost run itself out. Like there's ships in here. There's a strike force there. We can sort of see what they're made up of. Just frigates. They do have large pulse torpedoes. Wow, look at the damage. Look at the damage of that. Phenomenal. Okay, so they've got phenomenal torpedoes there. They've got heavy railguns as well. So this is going to be hard, like, you know, when we actually do go and fight their ships. But I think that they've been weakened a lot. And I think that we're still going to be able to do okay. So let's move on now. Just get the first and the second and the third. So the first can come back in. And we'll just move them into a position. What I want to first of all do is grab the gas giant. This thing here. First fleet. Repair and capture. I'll do the third as well. Same thing. So they're both going to go in and take that one initially. That will then give me a refueling point within their system. So they're moving off. Now, I don't know if they've got long-range scanners yet. Let's have a look. No, they don't. So they won't even see us coming. So they're a bit behind with everything that's going on. Now, we don't have to be pleasant, like we don't have to declare war. We can just start to do things. And then, you know, and eventually, eventually declaring war is the way to go, but we'll just sort of just take it easy with what we're doing. 9th is moving out. We've still got the 10th fleet down in here as well. Actually, I do want to get them up into here as well, because we do want to sort of smash these worlds. Okay, so this has been taken, has it? Foscar has invaded and taken over. Okay, so that's actually so they've made a little bit of a win there. You can see how fast we're jumping through hyperspace. Like, we're a lot faster than anybody else. So these sort of surprise attack type things we can sort of do fairly readily. Nothing there that we want. So the rest of the ships will follow in. We definitely need to have a refueling point back up in here. So by taking it from their home system, it's a good start for us. Boland saying I sometimes wish the planetary buildings required certain population thresholds per structure. It makes it may take, let's say, 2 million to operate a huge tank factory. Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. So now bouncing off with these. So again, they can't really see us coming until we land in their system. And that's their invasion fleet moving back off again. So we're pretty much just going straight for the jugular here. 10th fleet. The second fleet is, well, refueling there is going to be a problem. How far out can we go? We can just make it to there if we did refuel there. These aren't really doing... Oh, yeah, they are picking up a bit of fuel. Okay, we'll let it happen. We'll just see if there's enough fuel here to fuel this whole fleet up. Which would be good if they could. Now it's waiting for fuel tankers. Yep, so no mission because we didn't have enough fuel in there. So we took all the fuel from that station, which means it won't have its reactors will now start to sort of drop. All right, in we go. So this is now just, we're going to take this before we even invade. The fuel barges, which got there before us. The rest of them, here they come. Surprise, we're here. Now we want to capture this before much else happens. So we have to get the, now this one doesn't have a real lot of shielding. So first and the third will hit this one pretty hard. So what have they got? Pulse torpedoes, just small ones. Even so, that's still pretty impressive. Now we need to get our troops on board. There we go. Now these guys have got a lot of protection. So we need to get all of these with their troops hitting this one, both fleets. Even then it still may not be enough. Yeah, it's probably not going to be enough. So then we'll keep on sort of pushing them in. Oh, we got it. Okay. So we did manage to capture it. That's good. So we now have a refueling station in here. So the first, and what have we got left on there? We've only got 3,000 there. That's fine. So that's been boarded and captured. We'll dismiss that one. Get the second to now come back through. They're just refueling anyway with their fuel tankers. Well, now we have the first has now used up all of its boarding strength. The third has also still got a little bit of their boarding strength, but not enough to really worry about anything. All right, I think it's time to cause some trouble. So we'll now declare war. So we've done that without, like, that's actually going to hurt our reputation yet again. So attacks on civilian ships has now sort of, yes, it's sort of, so we're becoming more and more of a pariah of the galaxy. So we can, this is why we can do those sorts of things, because it doesn't really matter anymore. So with what they have, we're going to speak with them, offer a treaty, or we're going to declare war on you. So there is insufficient justification for this war. We will suffer a negative reputation impact by declaring war now. And they'll also get what they need out of it as well. But let's just go and do it. So we're now at war. So they're furious with us. And we should see, actually they didn't get much of a benefit there. I just unpause. They should get a bit of a bonus with their war weariness. So there we go, except this one here. Yep, so we want to accept that mission. Now the first fleet. So I now want to make this is now going to be the base for the fleets. Home base will be this mining station for both of these two fleets. Home base. We're going to change. Well, both of these now need to take on wherever there's, like we've got 6. Yeah, we've got a little bit in through here. We do have a spaceport here. So let's send a third out to destroy this spaceport, and the first to destroy the other one. These have got a bit more shielding on them, but they're not going to be able to last against these fleets that we've got. Second is now good enough to come back in. So we'll now send the second into here just to refuel. So we'll tell it to refuel there and make this its home base. Frigate is under attack. So this is Crone 2. It's just a small troop transport. Nothing much on board. Till we get some big fleet battles, we shouldn't have too much to worry about. So with the first, again, we'll just keep on moving around and just destroying pretty much everything. Third. Also do the same thing. So at the moment we can do whatever we like. This is the 8th Defence Force, now hitting different things as well. Okay, that's something inside our territory, so they'll just keep on raiding. I might tell the 9th. Actually, the 9th is set for defend, which is fine. It's the 3rd. I'm just going to keep on telling my ships to now just build large mining stations on all of these. Else out this way. Attack that one. Oh, now this is actually, they're coming in to attack this, which we're not going to be able to defend against that one properly. So this is actually one of their defense forces. They've got a destroyer. with these large pulse torpedoes, again doing a hell of a lot of damage, 130 damage with their pulse torpedoes. They're monstrously powerful. Now we're at 97% up through here. We might just see where those pulse torpedoes come from, because they are very, very impressive. First is probably the closest, so let's just go back and destroy these. Yeah, not going to be able to hold up against these. Alright, so we've now got a lot of stuff going on. So the 7th Defence Force of the enemy fleet has been travelling towards... Where's that one there? Yep, so there's actually a group coming in to attack this, which is fine. We've got frigates is under attack. So we can dismiss those. Yep, 7th Defence Force again, going in to attack that other one. Crane 5. It's only a small freighter, we don't worry about that one either. There's our first fleet. What have we got here? The 10th fleet. Alright, so with the 10th fleet, I'm going to tell them to start to bombard these planets. So, now, I want to get these down to make them easy for invasion. Potentially even destroy this one entirely. Now, I'll assign these missions. Where's the 7th? See where they actually are. Alright, they're in here. Alright, so I'm just going to halve the speed. So the 7th is... we've got our 3rd fleet in here. Now the 7th, which is coming through, I'm just going to go and start to attack these different ships. So the 3rd is, they're the 1st. Yeah, so the 3rd is everywhere. That is a frigate. Again, heavy weapons. So the 3rd, we haven't taken any damage yet, but that's just going to be a matter of time, I think, with these ships that they've got. Incredibly powerful. Yeah, that's good. Good start for us. They're going in for the bombardment. Okay, we've now got the Galactic Diplomatic Research completed, which means that we can go back. So we've now got War Mission, we've got that one through there. We're doing okay in through this other side. They have destroyed one of our bases, the one that we did take over, unfortunately. Fast mining is coming, but we can now go back up and pick up the tech that we wanted. Now that weapon that they've got, what have they got? That's the concussion missiles. It won't be those. Torpedoes, shockwave torpedoes. So they've got their own torpedo tech, I think, which is very, very powerful. We can now get this. So we now have the impact assault blasters, the large ones. And again, we do a lot more damage per second than what they do, which is actually the point of these. So we're just going to go in this way, pay the costs of that, And we're going to click on that one again. Actually, yeah, so I've got that one there. It's devastating energy release. Bring that to the top. Click on it and we'll pay the costs of trying to get that as fast as possible. That will then just give us extra power. We'll then have a new one, which is the large weapon. Yeah, we'll see how we go with that one. We may not need it, but I'm thinking what we then do is come back down once we pick that one up and grab the, where is it? Multi-role starships. So we finally got to where we needed to go with our weaponry, with our research, which is awesome. Now this is the first fleet. We still just need to keep on attacking stations in here. Now the 7th has been destroyed ultimately. Third fleet. Just keep on attacking this this fleet, this ship. Okay, the destroyer at Crone 6. So this is Orangutang's library. Under attack there, nothing really important. Okay, we're going to allow that one. There's a lot that goes on when you start these wars. So we're now bombarding this colony. And so we should see massive damage done to the military. Not yet. Let's bring the others back in. This is the third fleet. So picking up a little bit of war weariness now. This is second. So that's the capital. We will actually bombard this fairly soon. Actually, what else have we got? We've got the third fleet. No, that's not going to be. That's not going to matter much down that way. Yeah, we're starting to now smash through their military. Research new technology. I'll accept the war mission. I'm not going to do it. I've got too many other things now with these devastators. Yeah, so their military is fading. They're down to a very, very small defense strength. So the devastators rip through the essentially through the protecting troops. Now, even if we land there, there's still going to be problems for us. But we'll just destroy all of these, then move off to the home world. Yeah, we've got our ambassador on their home world as well. Yeah, the defensive strength has gone from 2,000 down to 500. And again, even if we just left it like this, that would still be it'd still be great. But the actual number of Mortallans is high. Like by using these nuclear devastators, we've actually protected the population. Although the planet quality is dropping. We need a presence in this world, so we will have to take one of these. There we go. I've just destroyed the armor. Defensive strength is practically nothing. So this is actually now draining money away. I think that'll do us for there. Let's go and get the 10th now and bombard the capital. The 2nd is here now as well. They should be here, getting very, very close. Fuel barge in there, that's good. Just having a quick look at all the others that we actually have. So we've gone there. This one is another, this is not actually a gas giant that we can make use of. Just keep on trying to build what we can. So this is the 1st. Let's go and smash this. Attack Tron 6. We've still got the 3rd as well. So they're basically just sitting around outside this one. We'll get another mining station built there if we can. So the 3rd is we've still got all of these. Let's just get rid of these ones in here. It's got lots of silicon. Comes the 10th, so again they'll just sort of rip through the defences that are here. There's a lot of again a lot of troops on the ground here. You can see they've got a defensive strength there of 3,200. So the 1st will then destroy this one. I'll decline that one. So this will essentially destroy these guys, you know, like they'll still have some presence, but it's really they're not going to be able to get back from this once we take their homeworld. There we go, now bombarding. Just wait until we get this thing destroyed. And then we'll send these down to actually help with the bombardment. Okay, so the 1st can go back and help. There's the 2nd. Just waiting in space for stuff to happen. I'm just going to put them back to manual control and just have them sort of float around. So we're starting to now work our way through these. And we've got an ambassador in through here. One of these guys is not one of our ambassadors. Now these won't be as judicious with their attack. They'll sort of get a bit of everyone. So it may be better to wait for the actual dedicated bombardment force to do their job. Yeah, there's our ambassador. I think we might send him off. You can go somewhere else. Get out of there while you can. He's got 2 years to move away, which is not going to be long enough. So the defense strength is now coming right down. These guys won't care about the population, so they'll actually sort of end up, we'll see much bigger defense coming down with the first fleet sort of doing what they're going to be doing. And the population will sort of dwindle away fairly fast as well. It's now dropping very, very quickly. So there'll just be militias left after this. Still got 4 billion here. That's a lot. Alright, so let's just pause there. First fleet can go off and do other things. So what I'm going to do now is we actually don't have a presence here, unfortunately, where we can actually say, well, this is now the new base. Like I can't go and right click to say that's your home. I'll just send these off to here. Attack that one there, the third as well. Just attack this one until we actually get stuff built, or unless we actually take one of these worlds. I think we've already got stuff. Yeah, we've already got things being built in these different locations. So second fleet. We now have we've got a drop strength here of 6,500. Actually, no, what do I need to do is I need the first to blockade this world. So we're just going to blockade Crone, which means we're going to stay really, really close to it. And then we've got I'll keep this bombardment going just for a little bit longer. Actually, no, I won't. I'll move the 10th away now. I'll just tell them to blockade this as well. So we get that one established, and then we just get the second fleet, and so they're going to now do a bombardment. So we're just going to go and prepare and invade Crone 2. Which means they'll just sort of get ready to drop as fast as they can. So all of the troop transports are now moving into position. And they've got a defense strength there of 600 odd. It's going to be more than that when we go in. So there we go. There's the first of the invasions. First the troops landing now. And so they've got 2,000. So these are special ambush groups. These actually sort of help with the initial parts of the invasion. Troops preparing for battle. So we end up having a, we'll have the armoured breakthrough. Special operations gives us 25%, space control another 25%, and the attacking general bonuses. But we've got more and more troops now coming back in. And so now we've actually prepared, and we've now got 7,000 force coming in against their 2,000. Both generals are now on the ground, and the armour is now sort of smashing its way forward. All they've got left is the canyon redoubt of Crone. So these are just militia troops, which don't have any real strength. Good stuff, good stuff. So we had 11,000, 13,000 attack strength with all of these different bonuses that we actually now have. Which is overwhelming. So this is their capital. This means we're going to capture everything, basically. Right away. And then I will have to get going after this. So here we go. Colony Conquer. We've taken Crone 2. Victoria's forces have completely defeated the enemy. So this is actually a major, major setback. The fact that they weren't able to really protect their home means that we end up with like lots and lots of benefit with this. So Crone 2 is now our colony. The trouble we're going to have is that they're going to be very, very angry with what's actually going on. We've got heaps of people now that we've imprisoned. So we've got any scientists? Yeah, there's their warlord. So that's the first of the things that we've now sort of taken there. We'll need to take this second world from them as well, down the bottom here. That will then sort of give us this system. In fact, even that alone will give us this system. So we've actually now got that one. Their new capital is out over here. Now this will slow them down a little bit with what's going on. So they've got this one here. It's got 7 billion population there. They can actually build armor barracks. But that was a very, very good little attack that just went straight to the heart of this enemy force. So we can now make the first base can now have this as their home base. The third can have that as their home base. The what else do we have? We've got the 10th. Make this their home base. The second can have that as their home base for now as well. This means I can sort of start to automate. So with the first, I can just tell it to raid, for example. So let's just go and tell it that its job is to be a raider, and we'll tell it that it's got 50 m range. That will do. It'll move off and do its own thing. The third, I'm going to put this one as defend, and we're going to make this one defend just the system, same system. So that will then just look after anything that gets built in this particular system. We still then have the 10th, which I will be wanting to move down. That's not it. So this one here, they're building up troops again. So we'll just get the 10th to go down and bombard this one. And the second, but ultimately we're going to be wanting them to pick back up most of the troops. So we've actually offloaded all the troops onto this particular world. So we do need to leave some as garrisons with what we're doing. And we will also then need to, I'm just trying to think of where I'm going to need to protect this planet from. I'm guessing if their capital is in the south, then that would be where we would expect threats to come from. So I might just leave it slightly this way. There's another small spaceport there. So we can start to sort of now just make sure that we can control this one thoroughly. But I think I'll leave it here for now, and then when we come back next week, we'll continue on this invasion. But that was good that we sort of got through, and that's going to help enormously with their victory conditions. Yeah, they've now dropped back way back down to here. This then takes us where the economy is now ahead of everyone else's, but not the territory. But overall, that's a big improvement there with what we have. I haven't enslaved them, but I will eventually. We do need to get them to rebel, but we'll try to manage that in different ways. So that's actually, now that's really going to hurt them a lot. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for watching, and we'll be back next week. And so I think we're getting close now to really being able to sort of smash through whatever we want to do in this game. I'll catch you tomorrow if you're around.